Hi everybody, good morning. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I just finished my mobility routine, and the next step is to do my Friday morning workout routine. Then I'll be heading off to GP to be a GP for the morning. Um, then hopefully squeeze in some cardio, bit of work, pick up my kid from nursery, and then enjoy the rest of Friday. And then Saturday is family day, so I can chill. But in this video, I want to talk about the reasons why I love going bald. And I first noticed that I was kind of balding a bit in 2016. And at the time, I was maybe in a bit of denial. I thought, oh no, it's just a bit of thinning and it won't carry on. But sure enough, it did progress. And certainly over the stressful period of GP training, I noticed my hair was getting thinner and thinner. And then by the end of GP training, when I qualified as a GP, that's when it was really quite thin on top. And then probably about a year ago, when I committed to just, going, I don't know what you call it, number zero on clippers, where you just shave it all off. And I want to make this video because it's a bit fun and because I want to put a different perspective on balding. If somebody's out there who's noticed their hair getting a bit thinner, I want to put a kind of positive spin on it because I don't think it's as bad or I don't think it's bad actually at all. So number one reason, the first kind of reason is that it's very convenient. So just less than once a week, I just take the clippers, take it all off, and then I'm done. I don't have to think about it. I was never a big fan of going to a barber shop and having somebody cut my hair. Um, I was fine, but it always felt a bit awkward just having somebody, taking care of your hair and sitting there and kind of having a bit of an awkward conversation. I know some people love that. That's great, but for me, I didn't have a regular hairdresser or anything, so there was always like a different person each time, and kind of felt a bit awkward. So it's nice to just get it done in 5 minutes, get on with my day, and that's it. Job done. I was never particularly good at styling my hair. I never really knew what style to sort of do. I didn't really get into it that much. So being bald is much more convenient for me. And if I was going to clip it all off, if I wasn't going bald, then that would be kind of a choice, a hair choice, as opposed to now I can say I just clip it off because I'm going bald. So there you go. Number two is I suppose you're able to maintain the skin on your head better. So I can just, instead of having to use shampoo and conditioner and blow dry my hair and all these things, I just use soap everywhere, and then dry everywhere, and then moisturize everywhere, put moisturizer all over my head, and I'm done. I'm finished and job done. And very little maintenance, and I can keep the skin healthy that way, and that's great. Another thing is, in summer, if you're kind of, or if I, when I was kind of bald on top, but I still had hair, in the summer, there was still a risk of having sunburn on the top of my head because I couldn't really put sun cream on there um, because my hair would be so greasy. But now I can just sun cream everywhere and I'm protected from the sun, which is great. So lower risk of things like skin cancer on the top of the head, actinic keratosis, and all the other things that come along with sun exposure without protection. So that's great. Another reason is I'm more streamlined. So if I if I'm like on a run or I'm swimming, which is not something I do very often, but I'm extra sleek. I cut through the air super quick, and it it means that I can go a little bit faster. Maybe when I'm running, I can add an extra. I don't know if I was doing a 100-meter sprint and I was running it in, say, I don't know how fast it would take me, maybe 13.5, 14 seconds. I might get that down by like 0.01 seconds, so that's worth it. And I suppose another reason is that I can make jokes about it, and I can make kind of silly videos like this, and it gives me kind of content that hopefully, puts people a bit at ease. If I make a joke about being bald, people often laugh about it, which is great. And maybe puts people at ease, maybe says, this person doesn't take themselves too seriously, which is great. Kind of break the ice a little bit. Um, the main downside, I would say, is that my head does get cold. So I have noticed if you've ever shaved your head or you've been bald, you might notice, and I've spoken to other bald guys about this, that your head does get colder, noticeably colder, even in like warm conditions. I'm always turning the heating up. If I'm not doing anything, I do tend to get cold. I'll wear a hat inside, that kind of stuff. So I would say that's the number one, um, the main downside. And the final point that I would make, um, is that it's good for self-acceptance. So when you're, when you're young and you haven't lost your hair and you've got all these other things going for you, then you kind of, you feel that, I mean, a lot of young people have some insecurities, but for the most part, you're young and healthy and fit and everything. As going bald is kind of a realization of, yeah, eventually you are going to get older, and you can't control certain things. And that's kind of good for self-acceptance, I think. Almost like a stoicism kind of approach. So the process of accepting, I'm going bald, I'm not going to fight this. When I when it first started happening, I was thinking, is it worth doing sort of things like hair transplants or finasteride, all these other treatments? But by just accepting it and then having it that as, this is a feature, I'm now going to be this person who's got very short hair or bald on top, and leaning into it and being like, yeah, this is okay. I'm cool with this. Then I think that helps with a lot of other aspects of life where you just need to accept the way things are and change what you can change, work on what you can work on, but be cool with, some things that, have just happened to you. So I hope that video was somewhat helpful, or, at least somewhat entertaining. And I'll be back with another video, which will be tomorrow.